Hello everyone, and welcome to the U.S. History Unit 1 test, which is being recorded so that you can listen to the test questions, and that may help you in taking your Unit 1 test. This particular test and this recording is for the modified version of the test. You will see that there is one answer choice removed from each question. There are 27 questions in total. Please feel free to pause the recording whenever you need to. You can fast forward or rewind to hear something again, or to skip to the end of a test if you just need a particular question read out loud. Okay. As you're taking your test, please make sure to save your answers as you go. At the end, you want to submit for grading as well. I always suggest that students write down the answers as they go on paper and keep a file of those just in case your internet should disconnect or you lose power and it does not save your responses correctly. I'm not always able to find or save your work if there is a submission error. Okay, so save as you go and then submit for grading. Let's get started with our first question. What temporary landmass linking Siberia and Alaska is thought to have allowed hunter-gatherers to migrate from Asia to North America? Was it A, Alaska Glacial Pathway, B, Siberian Connection, or C, Beringia? Number 2, why is the information available to archaeologists about early Native American cultures very limited? European diseases destroyed Native American cultures before information could be gathered. Internal tribal warfare eliminated large numbers of Native Americans, so little information was available. Or the last option, the nomadic tribes burned all documents and selected artifacts before they moved to new locations, so no information was available. Number 3, match the Native American culture with the correct description. The Iroquois, that's the tribe, and we want to match it with the correct description. Did they cultivate corn and build adobe structures? Did they develop a written alphabet and language? Did they live in longhouses? D, build mounds for protection and ceremony? Or E, hunt bison for many purposes? Which one best matches the Iroquois? For your answer here, you're going to put either A, B, C, D, or E in the blank here below. Number 4, match the Native American culture with the letter from the map that indicates where that culture was found. Great Plains. Okay, so find the letter on the map that corresponds with the cultural area, Great Plains, and put that in the space below. Number 5, match the Native American culture with the letter from the map that indicates where that culture was found. So how about the Northeast? What about the Northeast? Put the correct letter for the Northeast cultural region in the blank here. Number 6, what mountain range extends from British Columbia to New Mexico? I've given you a map there for reference. What mountain range extends from British Columbia to New Mexico? Is it the Appalachian Mountains, the Sierra Nevada, or the Rocky Mountains? Number 7, what river flows from Minnesota to the Gulf of Mexico and drains almost half of the United States in the process? The Colorado River, the Mississippi River, or the Ohio River? Again, please feel free to use the map above as reference. Number 8, which of the following is one way in which the European economy was impacted by the Columbian Exchange? Many European crops were destroyed by disease brought from North and South America. The European economy strengthened from the amount of new resources and people with whom they traded. Or the European economy was weakened because of the amount of money spent on imported goods. Number 9, which of the following best completes the diagram? Widespread famine and starvation, numerous natural disasters, or exposure to European diseases? Number 10, what did Captain John Smith require of colonists at Jamestown? They provide the new Americans with tobacco. The second option, they work in order to eat. Or the last option, they returned to England regularly to maintain their sense of culture. Number 11, what was the main reason the English decided to begin a colony at Jamestown? Was it for religious freedom, to gain wealth, or to gain land for agriculture? Number 12, how did the Mayflower Compact affect the settlement of Plymouth Colony? It declared colonists' separation from King James I. It spelled out the religious beliefs of the colonists, or did it serve as a basis for passing laws for the good of the colony? Number 13, what was a major difference between the Massachusetts Bay Colony and Rhode Island? The first option, John Winthrop required Massachusetts Bay colonists to pay Native Americans for land. Second option, Anne Hutchinson served as the first woman colonial leader in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Or the last option, Roger Williams founded Rhode Island, believed in religious toleration. Number 14, which colony was founded by Catholic proprietors on land given to Cecilius Calvert in recognition of Catholic support for King Charles I? Was that North Carolina, Maryland, or Georgia? Number 15, which colony was founded as a haven for a religious group known as the Quakers? Delaware, Pennsylvania, or Maine? What was the Middle Passage for number 16? An agreement that allowed British ships to operate legally, an understanding that Southern plantation owners could purchase slaves on a trial basis and then return those who proved inadequate, or the last option, the second leg of a triangular trip from Africa known for its inhumane conditions. Number 17, why did slavery replace indentured servitude in the colonies as time went on? Slaves were more intelligent and could be easily trained to undertake plantation jobs. Plantation owners were able to convert slaves to Christianity, or indentured servants left plantations at the end of their servitude. Number 18, what did John Locke believe? The survival of the fittest would lead to government by the most able. The second option, natural law required governments to protect citizens' rights to life, liberty, and property. Or the last option, government was not necessary as long as people functioned reasonably. Number 19, what was a key belief of the Great Awakening? Salvation did not depend on membership in a single church. Government was more important than religion in people's lives. Salvation was open to all who believed in a higher being. Number 20, how did the French and Indian War affect the British and ultimately the colonies? They gained land but incurred heavy debt. They were able to reduce the Native American population in North America. Or the last option, they improved relations with both the French and the Indians. Number 21, what was the major occupation in the middle colonies? Textiles, farming, or growing cotton? Number 22, what was not a major crop in the South? Tomatoes, rice, or tobacco? Number 23, why did early colonial North America develop into three distinct regions? North, also known as New England, Middle, and Southern colonies. Was it the first option? Each region was settled by people from England and shaped by their specific plans for the natural environment. Each region was settled by people from England and shaped by their specific plans for government structure. Or the last option, each region was settled by people of different origins and was shaped by the natural resources available. Number 24, which statement best describes the relationship between colonists and Native Americans during the 17th and 18th centuries? Native Americans were hostile to the British colonists from the start. The colonists arrived in the Americas determined to exterminate the native population, or the two groups sometimes cooperated, but the colonists' desire for more land led to conflict. Number 25, which was not a reason for founding or settling any of the 13 colonies? Plans to build a society based on capitalism and democracy. Second option, desire to practice an unpopular religion without persecution. Or the last option, hope for a better life than might be expected in Europe. 26, what is the main reason why early settlements were near waterways? Waterways were an important component of colonial spiritual life. Waterways were the only method by which colonial people could travel. Or the last option, waterways were critical for the colonial American economy. Number 27, read the passage below and answer the following question. How did geography impact the difference in slave population and how they were used? Okay, so here is the paragraph. In colonial North America, slavery practices often varied due to an area's climate and geography. Because the South had a long growing season, farmers could make large profits by harvesting multiple times a year. By the mid-1700s, the southern colonies had become very dependent on slavery. Southern landowners purchased more and more slaves to increase production in their tobacco, rice, cotton, sugar, and indigo fields. In the northern colonies, there was a lower need for slaves. However, northern businessmen still made large profits by investing in slave trade. Slaves that lived in the North often worked as household servants, skilled laborers, or as field hands on small farms. So the question again is, how did geography impact the difference in slave population and how they were used? Your options are the first one, geography influenced types of crops grown and the crops required different levels of labor. Second option, the geography of northern plantations required more labor than the geography of southern plantations. Or the third option, people in the South didn't believe in using slave labor while people in the North preferred slave labor. Remember to click Save Answers and then submit for grading. Good luck with your test. I hope the recording helps you, and please contact me with any questions that you may have. Good luck.